Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. This afternoon from Englewood High School, it's a Colorado 7 League clash as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Englewood Pirates. I'm John Beltran as the Mustangs are 3-0 in Colorado 7 League play. They're 41-0 since joining the Colorado 7 League, obviously in the sport of baseball, in 2013, since that league was founded. 4-2 on the season is Fort Morgan. Englewood at 3-1. This will be the second and final meeting of the season between these teams as the Mustangs had their way on Wednesday in Fort Morgan, 23-0, winning that game in 4.5 innings under some very questionable conditions as the snow was falling at the beginning of the game, then it tapered off, but it was pretty miserable throughout. Beautiful day here in Englewood. Temperature in the lower 50s, and we didn't have the wind. We had that in Fort Morgan, but certainly not here today in Englewood. We'll get to the Mustang starting lineup. As the Mustang starting lineup on this Friday afternoon is brought to you by Cargill Beef, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at Cargill.com. For the Mustangs, batting first is the center fielder Kyle Daniels. Pitcher Trevor Shurtleff at second. The catcher Trey McBride is the third hitter. Nate Cage is the cleanup hitter, and he's the third baseman today. Kenny Keller in left hits fifth. Grayson Garver, the shortstop, bats sixth. Adrian Marquez is the first baseman, batting seventh. The DH Austin Breidenbach hits eighth, and Anthony Arroyo, the right fielder, bats ninth. Defensively for Englewood, we've got Sandoval at first. The second baseman is Jason Klipka. Josh Lord at third. Cecil Ondak is the shortstop. Around the outfield, Thomas O'Connor in left. Sam Westro is the starting pitcher on Wednesdays in center. The right fielder is Johnny Munoz. Behind the plate, Isaiah Kovac. And on the mound is the right-hander Nate Andrews. And the opening pitch brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. If you're looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you, Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance has locations in Brush and Fort Morgan, and they can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. And follow us on Twitter at B106, as well as our B106 Facebook page. Be providing updates throughout the course of the game. And Fort Morgan's back in action tomorrow, by the way, so they want to get through this one quickly. They've got a doubleheader at home right here on B106 and B106.com against Fort Lupton, which is yet to win a game this season, not only inside but outside of Colorado 7 League play as well. So Kyle Daniels will be stepping in to lead off for Fort Morgan, hitting .375. He's driven in 4 runs in the year. Normally,
Number 4, Kyle Daniels.
Your leadoff hitter, of course, is really not an RBI man. The Mustangs dressed in their maroon tops with the gray pants. Englewood in their home whites. Here's the wind in the opening pitch. And the fastball's a strike on the outer half at the knees. It's 0-1. Yes, Sam Wester, the starting pitcher on Wednesday, did not record an out. Andrews delivers, and that is up and in with a heater. Count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. 360 in that left center field gap. And the offering, bunting it down the third base side, foul by Daniels. Ball 1, strike 2. So with Fort Morgan playing 3 games in a matter of 24 hours, because the Game 2 start tomorrow will be at 2 o'clock. Pitching, which has been a strength here lately, is going to have to really take over for the next 3 games. Here's the wind by Andrews, the 1-2. Swing and a miss at a ball up in the zone. And Daniels strikes out, an uncharacteristic strikeout there by Kyle Daniels. 1 down for Trevor Shurtleff.
Number 2, Trevor Shurtleff.
Shurtleff hitting .389. Leads the team with 10 runs scored. And second in base hits with 7. Upstairs with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Laying down the sign is Kovac, and the pitch. A little bit down and away. Took something off at 2 balls and no strikes. Gorgeous day here in Englewood. And the sun is out, and there's no sign of a breeze whatsoever. A lot more baseball weather than 2 days ago, and up and in with the off-speed. 3 balls and no strikes to the number 2 hitter in the Fort Morgan lineup. Trevor Shurtleff here on the top of the first inning. And the offering. Down the middle for a strike at the knees. And the count is level at 3 balls, or checked out at 3 balls and 1 strike. Working quickly as Andrews, the offering. Swung on and grounded a short to his left and playing it off his body, picking up and throwing late is going to be Ondak, and the ball skips by the first baseman, Sandoval, but he retrieves it right up against the fence. And Shurtleff reaches on the air. And that was an issue also. Even though the Mustangs hit the ball pretty well, Englewood defensively also did struggle on Wednesday, as the Pirates committed 5 errors in that game and did not get a base hit against 2 Fort Morgan pitchers. Here's McBride. The stretch. Step off. There's a throw to first, but Shurtleff back in standing. McBride's had a big year. The sophomore hitting .389. 2 home runs and 9 RBIs, which leads the team in both categories. About a 3-step lead for Shurtleff, and the pitch is swung on. That ball is driven high and deep into left center field, and that's going to find a gap. And into third base is going to be Shurtleff, and the throw is cut off to second. McBride slides in safely. Man, I lost that ball for a second. I thought that had a lot more trajectory. It's a straight-up double for McBride. And second and third with 1 out for Nate Cage. The Mustangs pick up their first hit on a shot there by McBride. Nate Cage with an RBI opportunity. Cage hitting .421. So he's been ripping the cover off the ball all season, even though we're only 6 games in. And the pitch by Andrews up and away. 1 ball and no strikes to the Mustang third baseman. Pitch is swung on and missed. Count is level at 1-1 as Cage wanted to give that a big rip but missed it. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 on, top of the first inning. No score in Englewood. Andrews steps off. It's very early in this game. Ondak, the shortstop, is playing way in. And keep in mind, this is an all-grass field. You've got dirt around the bases. The pitch swung on and grounded slowly to third. The runner's going to hold. Picking up is Lort. The throw to first is going to be low, but in time. So Daniel stayed at third, McBride at second. And 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Kenny Keller will now hit, so Cage, normally a reliable RBI man, could not get it done. Keller hitting .333 with 4 runs batted in. And he will now bat for the Mustangs. The pitch swung on and popped up extremely high behind the second base bag. The shortstop Ondag makes the catch, and the Mustangs are done at the top of the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left, both in scoring position. Let's head to the bottom of the first. Fort Morgan does not score. Englewood is coming to bat on their home field on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Time for the Englewood starting lineup, as the Mustangs did not score in the top of the first inning. Batting first is the pitcher, Nate Andrews. Thomas O'Connor, the left fielder, hits second. The aforementioned Kovac batting third. Sam Westra, the center fielder, hits fourth. Cecil Lonneck fifth. First baseman Sandoval hits sixth. Josh Lort, the third baseman, bats seventh. Jason Klipka, the second baseman, hits eighth. And Johnny Munoz, the right fielder, bats ninth. Defensively for Fort Morgan, Adrian Marquez is at first. Joe Holbeck at second. The third baseman is Nate Cage. In between him at short is Grayson Garver. Kenny Keller in left. Kyle Daniels in center. Pitch is swung on and fouled off behind the plate. Trey McBride with a play. Makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out as Andrews is retired. Arroyo in right field. We just heard McBride behind the plate, and Trevor Shurtleff
Number 6, O'Connor,
is on the hill. That'll bring up Thomas O'Connor. After Shurtleff threw that opening pitch, which was popped up And the breaking ball is a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss with a fastball right by O'Connor, belt high. Count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Shurtleff works very quickly and he swings. O'Connor does and misses on a fastball tailing away. 1-2. Shurtleff on the year 2-0 with a 1.62 ERA. He's been tough to hit. And rarely are errors committed behind him because he works so quickly. The defense is never caught napping with him on the hill. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The junior right-hander Shurtleff gets the sign from McBride, the sophomore. And the offering. Curveball swung on and missed, and O'Connor strikes out, and there's 2 down. And that'll bring up Isaiah Kovac.
Now batting number 4, Isaiah Kovac.
So Kovac stepping in for Englewood, another right-handed hitter. Wind and pitch, and the breaking ball is on the outer half for a strike just above the knees. It's 0-1 to Kovac. The Mustangs had 2 on and 1 out, did not score in the first. Swung on and fouled to the screen. Count moves to 0-2. Again, we'll be in Fort Morgan tomorrow. Doubleheader against Fort Lupton, noon and 2 o'clock on B106 and B106.com. A weekend of Mustang baseball pitch. Fastball is upstairs, a waste pitch by Shurtleff. Ball 1, strike 2. No score in the bottom of the first inning. And the offering. The breaking ball is down and away. 2-2. We continue to mention early in the season there are pitch limits now. You cannot go above 110 pitches to pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. The same pitch he struck O'Connor out on. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Trevor Shurtleff. 1 complete in Englewood. No score between the Mustangs and the Englewood Pirates on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Fort Morgan headed to the second inning in Englewood. No score. Grayson Garver, Adrian Marquez, and Austin Breidenbach against the right-hander Nate Andrews, who escaped trouble in the first inning following an error and a double by Trey McBride, the only hit of the game by either side in that first frame.
Now batting number 7, Grayson Garver.
Grayson Garver, the sophomore, batting .455, and he's driven in 5. So he's had a good season already. Still plenty of baseball. 13 games to go in the regular season, including this one, as Fort Morgan goes for its 42nd consecutive Colorado 7 league victory. Garver settles in from the right side. The wind by the right-hander Andrews, the pitch. Swing and a miss, pulled the string a little bit. It's 0-1. Yeah, Englewood's got nothing to lose here considering what happened on Wednesday. They're just playing loose here. Foul towards the third base dugout. Yeah, when you lose as badly as they did, it's almost easier to forget about it as opposed to those nail biters. And Andrews is looking good here in the early going. And the fastball is upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the opening hitter, Grayson Garver, in the top of the second inning. There's the wind and pitch. Swing and foul to the plate. Remains at 1-2. To Garver, the offering. Swung on and hit in the air towards shallow left center field. And to his right is Westra. He makes the catch. Kind of a half-hearted swing there by Garver. And there's 1 down for Marquez. Marquez batting .231, so he's looking to get the offense going. And the pitch. And a slow curve is in there for a strike on the outer half just above the knees, and it's 0-1. To the Mustang first baseman. The pitch. Swung on, grounded off the glove of the pitcher Andrews into center field for a base hit. He was nearly able to snag that, but the Mustangs have their second hit in as many innings. And that'll send up the number 8 hitter Austin Breidenbach, the DH. who's hitting just 200, but he's a big, strong kid. And he's got some power to him, no doubt about it. Snap throw to first, back in diving is Marquez. We'll find out how aggressive head coach Josh Langford is with Marquez on the bases. The pitch swung on. That ball is belted into right field for a base hit. A two-hopper out there now, bobbled in right field by Munoz. And taking off for third will be Marquez. He's going to be in there. And now it's first and third. 2 consecutive hits for Fort Morgan in the top half of the second inning. The hitter did not advance. And here's Anthony Arroyo.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry. Correction, Anthony Arroyo.
Arroyo batting .273. The stretch. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Fort Morgan at first and second with 1 out. And did not score in the first inning. Now looking to reverse that trend here. Snap throw to first. And back in diving is Breidenbach. Towing the rubber is Nate Andrews. The pitch. Swag and a miss. Pitch it around the letters. Count is now even at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 2 on. No score in the top of the second. Snap throw to first. Pretty good throw there, but back in diving again is Breidenbach. Trying to keep him as close to the base as possible and not give him a freebie to second. Awaiting is Arroyo. The pitch swung on and hit foul. And out of play off to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Serving area bean grower since 1921. Trinidad Benham, 522-3595. Arroyo, the 9th place hitter in a 1-2 hole. Andrews at the belt, the offering. Slow curve is up and in, and a stolen base there. An easy one on the breaking ball by Breidenbach. So again, 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out, but this time it's a 2-2 count. It's not a fresh at bat. Arroyo waits the pitch. Swung on and grounded left side, headed for left field, and a diving attempt by Ondak. Throw to first, and it skips by the first baseman, Sandoval. 1 run will score as crossing home plate is Marquez. To third is Breidenbach. And into second is Arroyo. Tough play, we'll call it a base hit and an error. And the Mustangs lead 1-0.
Now batting number 4, Kyle Daniels.
Kyle Daniels struck out his first time up. And the pitch swung on and fouled back. No balls and 1 strike to Daniels. Got plenty of lumber on deck. And even behind him. Next pitch is a ball. Count moves to 1-1 on Daniels. Again, 2 runners in scoring position. And the offering. Swung on and hit foul and out of play off to the left. Yeah, for some reason, Kyle, who normally looks very comfortable, not so right now. At least not in his first at bat, but kind of like a half swing there. The pitch swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Ondak, has got it. Flips to first low, and it's safe. Not dug out by the first baseman, Sandoval. Scoring is Breidenbach. That'll be an RBI, but an error on Ondak is second of the inning. And Fort Morgan now leads 2-0. Yeah, routine play, but a poor throw. Runners at the corners here for Trevor Shirtliff, who reached on an error. The pitch swung on and hit deep into right center field. That ball is going to find a gap. That could roll for a while. Scoring is going to be Arroyo. Daniels to third, and Daniels going to be held up. It's a double for Shirtliff. And the Mustangs now lead 3-0.
Now batting number 11, Trey McBride.
And he gave that a ride. And Trey McBride, already doubled in his first at bat, will now be the batter. With Fort Morgan up 3. It's been a tough start so far for Ondak, the shortstop. The pitch and the slow curve is up and away. He's committed 3 errors already in this game. And the Mustangs capitalized in inning. They couldn't do it after the first inning error. 1-0, up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to McBride. Andrews at the belt, the pitch swung on and popped up into shallow left center field. The shortstop Ondak is out. He makes the catch. Runners have to hold. And McBride could not be happy with that on a 2-0 count. Just a weak pop-up there to the shortstop Ondak. And here's Nate Cage. He grounded out in his first at-bat. Out of the stretch is Andrews, with the Mustangs leading the game. 3-0, swung on and fouled back. No balls and 1 strike to Cage. The stretch by Andrews, the pitch. Swag and a miss and a fastball above the letters. Throw it right by him. And the count is now sitting at 0-2. Again, Andrews looks in the pitch. Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Mustang junior third baseman. The 1-2. Swung on and grounded towards right field for a base hit. He stuck his bat out. Daniels will score. And Shirtliff holds up at third. One not hit very strongly. It's going to go as an infield hit because the second baseman, Klipka, went over there. Mustangs now lead 4-0. Yeah, 2 infielders converged and a ball headed for right field, but with nobody covering, Cage gets the infield hit. That'll send up Kenny Keller. The pitch, a strike on the outer half. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, that made the outfield. No doubt that the trail runner Shirtliff would have scored. The pitch. Right there with a fastball. Cage with a delayed steal. No throw there by Kovac. No balls and 2 strikes. This will be pitch number 40 for Nate Andrews. Runners take their leads out of the stretch. Pitch to Keller. Swing and a miss and a fastball about helmet high. And he strikes out and the inning is over. However, Fort Morgan scores 4 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left. We have played an inning and a half in Englewood. It is Fort Morgan in the lead over Englewood, 4-0 on B106 and B106.com. The first pitch at the bottom of the second inning is a fastball down and away to Sam Westra. Fort Morgan in the lead, 4-0. Trevor Shirtliff delivers, and time was called. He works so quickly that it's not a surprise that when time is called, he might be in the middle of his windup, or not in the middle, but at the beginning of his windup. And I think one thing that the Englewood hitters want to do is throw him off rhythm. So 1 ball and no strikes to Westra. And the pitch. Up and away with a fastball, 2-0. Shirtliff threw just 10 pitches in the opening frame and struck out 2. And the offering. Low. 3-0. Yeah, it's been a control pitcher this year. Hasn't really struggled too much with the walks. Only 4 as opposed to 14 strikeouts in 13 innings. Daniels has had his issue with walks, and that fastball's a strike. At the knees, it's 3-1. What head coach Josh Langford told us over a week ago is that he has been pitching like the ace this season. Not that Daniels is not good, but Shirtliff has gotten better. And that fastball, a strike on the inner half at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sam Westra. Wind and pitch. swung on and lifted towards center field. Kyle Daniels is going back, still going back, and he makes the one-handed catch. That was hit well by Westrup, but Daniels had a beat on that ball. And that'll bring up the number 5 hitter in the lineup, Cecil Ondak, another left-handed hitter.
Now batting, Cecil on deck.
So Daniels puts it away, and Shirtliff works to the number 5 hitter. The pitch took something off it for a strike on the outer half just above the knees. It's 0-1, and now after throwing 3 balls to begin the second, it's 3 strikes in a row for Shirtliff. He kicks and fires, and the breaking ball is a strike on the inside corner just above the knees. It's 0-2. Shirtliff likes to waste that upstairs fastball or even a breaking ball in the dirt. 0-2 offering, and the breaking ball is down and in. You got to watch out with that pitch. It nearly hit on deck. Yeah, I think he wishes if it hit him, it would have hit him around the cleat. You don't want to take that around the ankle, anywhere in the bone area where it really hurts. 1-2. Fastball is outside, way outside. In fact, 2 balls and 2 strikes. From the bottom half of the second inning, Fort Morgan 4, Englewood nothing. Mustangs put together a 5-hit inning in the second. The pitch and the breaking ball is all the way to the screen. Well, 3 balls, 3 strikes. Now 3 balls again by Shirtliff, so he's been inconsistent to say the least. But again, he's got a 4-run cushion to play with. It'll be a payoff pitch to Cecil Ondak. That is a called strike 3, a fastball right there at the knee. Strikeout number 3, and there's 2 down at the bottom of the second inning.
Now batting number 9, Sandoval.
Sandoval now hits for Englewood. The pitch squaring to bunt, and he fouls it to the screen. That pitch was tailing in. On Sandoval, no balls and 1 strike, hitting for the right side. Proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Equitable savings and loan available 24/7 for your banking needs. The fastball is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 14 strikes and 10 balls so far for Trevor Shirtliff. Wind and pitch. Fastball, a strike down the middle, thigh high, and it's 1-2. Going for his second consecutive 1-2-3 inning. And the offering. Swing and a miss. Took something off it above the letters. Second straight inning that Shirtliff strikes out the final 2 hitters. He's got 4 strikeouts in the game. He's retired the first 6 as we have played 2. The score. It's Fort Morgan 4, Englewood nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Fort Morgan 4, Englewood nothing. So we hit the top of the 3rd inning in Englewood. Grayson Garber, Adrian Marquez, and Austin Breidenbach for Fort Morgan. Garber popped out his first time up against the right-hander Nate Andrews. When buying a mixer feeder truck, nothing compares to the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service at MMI International. 842-5161, that's MMI International. Here's the wind and pitch to Garber, and he squares to bunt out in front of the plate. It's picked up by Kovac. His throw to first is going to sail over the first baseman's head. And it's caught by the second baseman backing up Klipka. Well, we'll give him a generous hit. I mean, a good throw. We're going to call that an error. Good throw has him there. It was not the best bunt. It was a decent bunt, but it's got to be an error on the catcher. As reaching is Garber. Here's Marquez, the pitch, and the breaking ball is outside. One ball and no strikes. Marquez singled in his first at bat, and he scored. The pitch squaring to bunt, and he bunts it off the pitcher's glove towards the shortstop on deck. Well, that time it's just going to be a plain hit. I mean, it was a quick reflex there by Nate Andrews. And if that's hit to any other position player, it's undoubtedly an error. But when it's the pitcher and you've got to have a quick reflex and the ball bunted pretty hard, and that scored an infield hit. So first and second with nobody out for Austin Breidenbach. But again, neither
Now batting number 13, Austin Breidenbach.
Neither bunt was overly impressive. First pitch is a ball to Breidenbach. He singled. Going the other way his first time up. 2 on, nobody out. Fort Morgan with a 4-0 lead. Runners take their leads. And the 1-0. Swung on and popped up extremely high towards the shortstop on deck. Infield fly rule. He makes the catch. 1 out.
Now batting number 15, Anthony Arroyo.
That sends up Anthony Arroyo. Arroyo singled in the first run of the game for Fort Morgan in that 4-run second. Garver at second, Marquez at first. Again, 2 bunts by the Mustangs. One resulted in an error, the other a base hit, but neither one was a great bunt. The fastball is way high. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will put you into the car or truck of your choice. The pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. That's Ehrlich Toyota East. Do a tremendous job out there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. With the Mustangs up by 4 in the top of the third inning. The stretch by Andrews. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is upstairs. Two and 1. Andrews working quickly the offering. Swung on. That is fisted into foul territory up the third base side. And out of play. And sitting at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on. That ball is drilled high and deep into left center field in the gap. Reaching out, and the ball is over the head of the left fielder O'Connor, who nearly was able to make the catch. Runner around third and scoring for Fort Morgan and giving them a 5-0 lead on the double by Arroyo is Grayson Garver. And Arroyo now with a second RBI of the game. And that'll bring up Kyle Daniels. Daniels 0 for 2, struck out and reached on an error. He drove in a run. The pitch upstairs. And Arroyo, of course, hit a grand slam against Englewood on Wednesday. Daniels steps out. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch over the plate for a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at B106 for all the scoring. The pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Mustangs have had runners in scoring position in every frame. Did not score in the first. Had 4 in the second. 1 so far here in the third. Runners take their leads. Marquez at third. Arroyo at second. The pitch squaring to bunt. And he lays it down the third baseline. That's a gorgeous bunt. They're not going to throw out Daniels. The throw to first is going to be made, but late. Crossing the plate is Marquez. Arroyo to third. And Fort Morgan leads 6-0 in the third. A perfect bunt by Daniels as the third baseman, Lord, was playing back.
Number 3. I don't have number 3.
And that'll bring up Trevor Shirtliff.
Now batting number 3, Trevor Shirtliff. Oh. Wrong number.
The stretch, the throw back to first, and back in diving is Daniels. Shirtliff reached on an error and then doubled in a run. Ondak will now have a conversation with Andrews. Well, Andrews is he's certainly throwing the strikes in there. Fort Morgan's just taking advantage. Swung on and grounded right side. A diving attempt by the second baseman. Throw to second. Safe. It was offline there. The throw is offline as the run scores. Arroyo crosses home plate on the play by Klipka.
Now batting number 11, Trey McBride.
Yeah, we'll just call that a fielder's choice, and the Mustangs now lead 7-0. but give the RBI to Shurtleff. And here's McBride, who's 1 for 2, a double, and he popped out the pitch. And the breaking ball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball, a strike on the outer half. Belt high. And levels the count at 1-1. Andrews working very fast. Swung on and popped foul and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trey McBride. At second is Daniels. Shurtleff at first. Shurtleff just drove in another run for the Mustangs. Andrews comes home. Curveball is upstairs. Runners go to second and third. And Daniels steals third. And into second is Shurtleff for the double steal. And it's 2-2. And that was the right pitch to steal on because it was a breaking ball. The stretch and the pitch. Foul to the screen on a fastball tailing away. And it remains at 2-2. Mustangs looking to break it open right here. They've already got a big enough lead, but they're looking for more. McBride awaits, and that curveball is upstairs. Didn't break too much. Three balls and 2 strikes. 61 pitches already for Andrews, so he's only got 49 more to play with. The offering. Swung on. That ball is drilled into left field for a base hit. Daniels scores. It was off the shortstop on deck. Man, it's hard to see the ball off the bat here with the sun just blazing down. I thought he got all of left field, but that ball was hit hard. McBride gets the base hit. The run scores. Shurtleff to third. The Mustangs now lead 8-0. Second consecutive 4-run inning. Caleb Bell will be the courtesy runner at first. I'll tell you what, Ondak has been busy over there at short. And now a visit to the hill. Obviously some defensive support would assist Andrews. I know he's got to be a little bit frustrated out there. But Fort Morgan is also hitting the ball fairly well. 10 base hits. The Pirates have committed 4 errors unofficially. And McBride just came up with a second base hit of the game. So 8-0 Fort Morgan with runners at the corners. Here for Nate Cage. Cage in the game so far is sitting at 1 for 2, grounded out and singled in a run. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and fouled off the catcher's glove. Kovac. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, there's no doubt that Coach Langford wasn't too happy after just 2 hits and a 5-1 victory over Alameda a little bit over a week ago, and looking for the Mustangs to pick up their offense, which they have here against Englewood. Snapped throw to first, and a close play. Bell was caught leaning. If the throw was on the other side, they might have been able to nail him as the tag was applied there by Sandoval. Looks like Fort Morgan caught a break there. The ball definitely beat Bell. The pitch, runner going, check swing, and a foul to the screen. And it's 0-2. And I think Coach Langford not happy that Cage even went for that pitch. I think there was a take sign there. Nope. Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, I think that's, I thought he was motioning towards Cage. No, apparently chatting with a home plate umpire, thinking that it was a quick pitch and that he did not come to a set. And if you don't come to a set and it's a continuous motion, it's ruled a balk, but that's not what was scored there. No balls, 2 strikes, 4 in, 2 on, 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning, Fort Morgan 8, Englewood nothing. The pitch, upstairs with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Andrews looking in, throw to first, back and diving is Caleb Bell. Yeah, he's got to be careful over there. Not get caught napping again. Long pause by Andrews, and time is called. 8 runs on 10 hits for Fort Morgan. No runs on no hits for Englewood. The Pirates are looking for their first hit of this series. 1-2. Swung on and fisted in the air. The shortstop on deck near the bag is going to make the catch to his left, and there's 2 down. Nice job by Andrews jamming Cage. Runners stay at first and third. And here's Kenny Keller, who popped out and struck out. He's 0 for 2. Kenny Keller, a senior, with 4 runs batted in. And a step off, no throw to third. Back in there is Shirtliff. Yeah, Bell's got to be careful, not get caught over there. Looks a little bit unsteady at first. Let's see if he takes off, though. He will not. Swung on and hit in the air on the right side. The second baseman, Klipka, is out to his left. He makes the two-handed grab, and that does it for Fort Morgan. In the top of the third inning, as Kenny Keller is retired on 1 pitch. The Mustangs score 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. 2.5 complete. The score, Fort Morgan 8, Englewood nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. 6 up, 6 down are the Pirates as we head to the third inning. Trevor Shirtliff has struck out 4. And Josh Lort will now hit from the right side. Lort was 0 for 2. First pitch is a ball thrown by Shirtliff. Wind and offering. And the all-speed pitch is upstairs, 2-0. Mustangs could find themselves in a 5-inning game once again. 2-0 pitch. Swag and a miss and a fastball at the knees. It's 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike to Lort. The pitch. Swung on and grounded slowly to third. Cage charges, sets, sidearms to first, 1 down. And Jason Klipka will now hit. Klipka 1 for 3. Check that, 0 for 2. He did have 1 hit against Fort Morgan last year. This is his first at bat out of the 8-hole, the third left-handed hitter in Englewood's lineup. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the left and to the backstop. It's 0-1. Get the most comprehensive news, sports, and opinion from the South Platte Sentinel. You can visit them at southplattesentinel.com. And Rominger Jewelry and Gifts is the leader in Northeast Colorado for diamonds, jewelry, watches, and expert in-store jewelry repairs for service, quality, and value. Shop Rominger's in downtown Sterling. The breaking ball is up and away. 1-1. And the pitch swung on and fouled off to the left and out of play. It's 1-2. 1 down, bottom of the third inning in Englewood. Fort Morgan with an 8-0 lead with 4 runs in the second, 4 more in the third. And Shirtliff delivers. Curveball hit Klipka on the right foot, and that was coming. There's no doubt that was coming. Shirtliff had thrown too many curveballs into those left-handed hitters. He escaped hitting Ondak earlier in this game, but that time at a 1-2 pitch, kind of short-armed the breaking ball, and that Klipka. No pun intended. Here's Munoz. That's the first base runner for Englewood. Throw to first back and diving is Klipka. The Mustangs are at double play depth. Shirtliff has thrown 34 pitches thus far through 2 1/3. Munoz did not hit. He just played right field on Wednesday, scoring to bunt, takes it high, throw back to first, swipe tag, and safe. Is Klipka. 1 ball and no strikes. Shirtliff towing the rubber. McBride looks over at the dugout for the sign from head coach Josh Langford. Again, Munoz squaring to bunt very early. Cage is going to be right on top of him at third base, but then Munoz steps out. Yeah, Englewood doing anything they can to at least manufacture a run and get some offense going. The pitch, squaring to bump, but that's upstairs. And the count moves to 2-0. Yeah, Trevor's just got to throw it down the middle here because Munoz is essentially giving you an out, and he's the ninth place hitter in this lineup. The pitch, and that fastball is high. 3-0. Yeah, still not the type of game Shirtliff would like to have in terms of balls to strikes. 20 strikes and 17 balls. Make it 20 strikes and 18 balls. That fastball was upstairs. He just walked the ninth place hitter. First and second for Nate Andrews, who popped to the catcher McBride in the bottom of the first inning. And Fort Morgan does have a secure lead here at 8-0. But Englewood all of a sudden threatening, thanks to a hit batter and a walk. The stretch by Shirtliff. And the pitch. Swung on and fisted in the air to the second baseman. Holbeck going out. Gets under it, makes the catch. And there's two down.
Now batting number 6.
That's the way to economize, as Shirtliff made the adjustment after walking the previous hitter. And that'll bring up Thomas O'Connor. O'Connor struck out his first time up. In fact, Shirtliff has struck out the final hitter in each of the first 2 innings. And the pitch. Fastball rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Clip gets second. Munoz at first. With the Mustangs up by 8 in the bottom of the third inning in Englewood. On a gorgeous Friday afternoon. And the 1-0. A strike with a fastball on the outer half belt high. And the count is level at 1-1. Mustangs have stranded 6 despite the 8 runs. Shirtliff looks back. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball that was nowhere near the strike zone. O'Connor did not read that out of Shirtliff's hand. Yeah, had he seen the breaking ball coming, he would have laid off, but instead it's 1-2. And if you're Shirtliff, more than likely you go with that same pitch against a young player in O'Connor. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He threw the fastball instead. And O'Connor strikes out. No runs. No hits, no errors, and 2 men left. 5 strikeouts for Trevor Shirtliff through 3 innings. The score, Fort Morgan 8, Englewood nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for Fort Morgan as we head to the 4th inning. Grayson Garver, Adrian Marquez, and Austin Breidenbach. And the Mustangs get a big enough lead. Head coach Josh Langford might go to the bench, which he did on Wednesday. And even though the Mustangs are up by 8, certainly a more competitive game under much better conditions, and that's what you want to see. So even if Fort Morgan goes on to win the game, at least Englewood through the first 3 innings is not on a double-digit end of a score. It is 8-0. And Andrews has pitched out of some trouble, quite a bit of trouble. Grayson Garver, already with his 3rd plate appearance. He popped out and then reached on the throwing air by the catcher, Kovac, on that attempted bunt 1 inning ago. The wind by Andrews, the pitch, and the breaking ball is a beauty. Right down the middle. It froze Garver. It's 0-1. And that was pitch number 68 for Andrews. 47 of those strikes, so he has not struggled with his control. The offering fastball is hit to the first baseman on 2 hops. Sandoval steps on the bag. And there's 1 down. That's the first time that the first hitter for Fort Morgan has been retired. Here's Marquez. 2 for 2. Marquez with a base hit and then had that very hard bunt that the pitcher Andrews nearly fielded, and it went for an infield hit. Fastball rides up and in underneath the elbows. 1 ball and no strikes. And the 1-0. That's a fastball for a strike. Right down the middle, thigh high, and the count is level at 1-1 The base is empty in the top of the fourth inning. Fort Morgan leading on the road 8-0 over Englewood. Fastball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 1. Peach Farmers Cooperative have been in business since 1915. They're still the small town company that cares about each of their individual customers. See them for all your propane, fuel, and farm needs. Swing and a miss and a ball tailing away. Excellent pitch by Andrews. It's 2-2. On deck is Breidenbach. Marquez looking to stay perfect. The pitch. Swung on and hit off the end of the bat on the right side. Barehanded by Andrews. Throws to first, and there's 2 down. He threw him a slow curveball, and Marquez was well out in front, and it was right off the end of the bat.
Now batting number 13, Austin Breidenbach.
Breidenbach has singled and hit into a fielder's choice, officially 1 for 2 in the game. Fort Morgan has had base runners in each of the first 3 innings, but nothing so far in the fourth. Swung on and fouled on the slow breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. Englewood won their first 3 games of the season, beating Denver South and Bruce Randolph in 10-0 over Fort Lupton. Here's the one in the 0-1. Fastball is hit to the shortstop, backhanded by Ondak. Long throw to first is offline, off the side of the fence, and now taking off for second is Breidenbach. He's going to be in there. It'll be a single and an error on a nice backhanded play there by Ondak, but unfortunately for him, threw it away.
Now batting number 15, Anthony Arroyo.
That's the second hit by Breidenbach, and Ondak has committed Englewood's 5th error. Here's Anthony Arroyo. He singled and doubled. And he's driven in a couple of runs. Or 1 run, actually. The stretch. Look back in the pitch. Swung on and hit in the air to left field. Going way back is O'Connor towards the fence. And it takes 2 hops and hits the bottom of the fence. Scoring is going to be Breidenbach. Now to third base is going to be Arroyo. The throw, the slide, the tag. And he is safe. The ball was dropped by the third baseman, Lort. It'll be a straight-up triple. The ball beat him. That's not scored an error. It's just a straight-up triple. If he holds on to that ball, it appears that Arroyo would be out. And on the RBI triple, Fort Morgan leads 9-0. Yeah, the umpire was about to signal out there. And then all of a sudden saw the ball exposed. And Anthony Arroyo was the player of the game on Wednesday with 5 RBIs, drives in another. There's Kyle Daniels, who's 1 for 3. He's driven in a run. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball is up and away. One ball and no strikes. And the offering. Swung on and fouled over the screen. Count is at 1-1, so the Mustangs doing some damage here with 2 down. Thanks in part to Arroyo. He's had a nice game, and he's hitting out of that 9-hole. The pitch, fastball away. 2 balls and 1 strike. And if Fort Morgan can score another run and hold down Englewood for the final 2 innings, they can make this an abbreviated game, which will help the pitching. The pitch up and away again. 3 balls and 1 strike to Kyle Daniels. Circle L Irrigation offers the latest in valley irrigation technology in Sterling. 522-8816. That's 970-522-8816. Fastball is high, and it's a rare walk issued by Andrews as he just threw his 82nd pitch. And Trevor Shurtleff is 1 for 3. Reached on an error. He doubled in a run and a fielder's choice. So runners at the corners. Andrews stretches. Throw back to first. It's low, but dug out by Sandoval there. Daniels is back in standing. Yeah, that ball hit by Arroyo, I think, surprised O'Connor in left field. It just kept going and going. The pitch, fastball is very high. And now Andrews overthrowing a tad. He's got to be tired out there. He's had some long innings, especially the second and the third when Fort Morgan scored 4 runs in each frame. 1 so far here in the fourth. Long pause, 1-0 pitch. Fastball is down and away. 2-0, and on deck is McBride. He might be thinking grand slam if he gets the bases loaded, but first things first with Shirtliff. He's got to either deliver or just walk. 2-0. Fastball, a strike. On the outer half at the knees, it's 2-1. Andrews operating out of the stretch with runners at the corner. Snap throw to first. Oh, they're going to call balk, I believe, on that one. Is it a balk or just a warning? Well, let's see. The home plate umpire is going to consult the second base umpire. If it's a balk, that means that the runner should score besides the runner at first going to second. Yeah, not only should Daniels advance, but that means that Arroyo should score. Yep, that's going to be the case, and Fort Morgan leads 10-0. And the count is 2-1 on Shirtliff. And now a conversation, just getting a clarification on what Andrews did wrong. Yep. So, yeah, he did lick his fingers on the rubber, which you're allowed to do if before the game, it's a very cold day and you notify the umpire. But on a day like this where the temperature, it's colder, but certainly not worthy of needing to lick the fingers, then it's an automatic balk, and that applies at all levels. So here we go, settling back in is Shirtliff. The pitch, fastball away, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Andrews now up to 86 pitches. Looks in for the sign, the stretch, and the pitch. Fastball is high. Second consecutive walk issued by Andrews. Yeah, Andrews has struck out 2, and those are the first 2 batters he's walked. He has allowed 12 hits in the game. Here's Trey McBride. McBride has doubled, popped out, and singled. And the breaking ball is a strike. To the sophomore catcher. With 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. There's 2 down and nobody out, and now there's 2 down and 2 on. Swung on and hit in the air behind the screen and out of play. Off to the right. Count is now sitting at 0-2 to Trey McBride. Yeah, this could be a short game with this 10-0 lead. Runners take their leads. Daniels at second, Shirtliff at first. Runner goes to third, swung on and hit in the air into center field. And coming on is Westra, still coming, and he makes the sliding catch, and the inning is over. Long run for Westra, but it paid off as he found the baseball in his glove. Fort Morgan with 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. 3.5 complete. The score, Fort Morgan 10, Englewood nothing. In Englewood on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. The Englewood Pirates are still looking for their first hit of the series against Fort Morgan.
Now batting number 8.
No hits in 5 innings on Wednesday and no hits through 3 innings today against Trevor Shirtliff, who has thrown just 43 pitches, which means he cannot pitch tomorrow. Once you go over 35, you need at least a day's rest. They can go with Daniels. I'm sure they've got other pitching as well. The fastball is upstairs. Adrian Marquez, Jason Wiggis might be working on another starter besides those I just mentioned. Wiggis mainly out of the bullpen. Swung on and lifted into shallow left field. The shortstop is out. The left fielder Keller is in and makes the grab. He nearly lost the ball in his glove. There's 1 down. He didn't look comfortable making that catch. Well, that doesn't even look like Keller from here. Yep, there's one down. I'm assuming that's Keller out there. Yeah, that looks like somebody else is in there for Keller. But hard to spot it with those dark uniforms. All right, we'll get clarification as soon as possible. Westra popped to the center fielder Daniels, hit the ball pretty hard in his first at bat in the second inning. And apparently something's got loose, a baseball in right field. I don't know what that, yeah. Guess it is a baseball. All right. Here we go with one on, or check that, one out and nobody on. Mustangs are 5 outs away if Englewood does not score. The pitch, fastball, is a strike on the outside corner. On a ball tailing away from the left-handed hitter. No balls and one strike. And the offering. Curveball is upstairs. Count levels at 1-1. One ball, one strike to Westra. And the pitch. Slow curve swung on and missed. That ball was at around his ankles. And McBride's got to be careful. Check that, I'm sorry. Shurtleff got to be careful throwing that pitch. A little bit more bend to it. He would have had his second hit batsman. 1-2 to Westra. Let's see what pitch he goes with. It's the fastball down and away. And the count levels at 2-2. 10-0 Fort Morgan. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning in Englewood. The Mustangs won the first meeting on Wednesday, 23-0. Swing and a miss on a fastball up in the zone. Shurtleff records the strikeout, and that is 2 down. In the bottom of the fourth inning for Shurtleff, that's strikeout number 6. Here's Cecil Londak. He struck out looking his first time up. The no-hitter on Wednesday was a combined no-hitter between Daniels and Wiggis with 12 strikeouts. The breaking ball is grounded to first. An easy play for Breidenbach. Steps in the bag. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Make it Marquez, over at first base. We head to the fifth. Fort Morgan leads on the road in Englewood, 10-0 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Nate Andrews threw 90 pitches over 4 innings, allowing 8 earned runs. Struck out 2, walked 2, allowed 12 hits as Sam Westra, who is a starting pitcher on Wednesday, will now take the hill for Englewood. Fort Morgan leads 10-0. Andrews goes to center field. Bailey Mechanical Heating and Air Conditioning and Sterling, the company that offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee at 521-7272. And make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop heading out of town. During your visit, you can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, get snacks, and your hunting and fishing licenses. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. And coming to bat for Fort Morgan will be Nate Cage.
Now batting, number 18, Nate Cage.
Cage is grounded out, singled, and popped out. He's driven in a run in this game. Looking at Fort Morgan statistically, Daniels and Shurtleff have 2 runs batted in. Arroyo with 3. So Arroyo in this series against Englewood has 8 RBIs. And here's Cage. Big, strong right-handed hitter, a third baseman who's been a first baseman for a while for the Mustangs, but got a strong arm at third. Wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded to third. A routine play by Lord. Throw to first is a little bit high, but Sandoval flags it in. And there's one down. One down for Kenny Keller. Let's see. Nope. Okay, that wasn't Keller out there, I believe, who made that catch earlier. That was Jacob Fritzler.
Now batting number 16, Jacob Fritzler.
Yeah, Fritzler's the one who made the catch in left field. But normally we're not informed of changes until those players come to the plate as opposed to being on the field. Yeah, Keller did go hitless in his time up there for Fort Morgan. Jacob Fritzler, the senior on the season. as he steps in, takes the first pitch and swings and fouls it off to the right. Is hitting .294. He's driven in 5, 3 of those on a bases clearing double against Alameda. No balls and 1 strike to Fritzler. The right-hander Westra kicks and delivers. Fastball is grounded to second. A Sunday hop for Klipka. He tosses to first, and Fritzler's out number 2 in the 5th inning. And that'll send up Grayson Garver. Let's see if he's actually going to hit. Let's see who this hitter is. Yep. That'll be Caleb Bell. Caleb Bell hitting.
Now batting, Caleb Bell.
Here in the hole here for Grayson Garver. Yeah, Bell was a courtesy runner earlier. So even if Fort Morgan does not score in this frame, they've got a shot to end this in 5 innings, but they have to shut down Englewood if they do not tally again in this 5th inning. Fort Morgan in the 4th inning had 2 out, nobody on, then generated a 2-run rally. The wind by the right-hander and the offering. Fastball is fouled straight back. No balls and 1 strike. Mustang baseball tomorrow at noon and 2. Or essentially 20 minutes after the first game ends against Fort Lupton. Both games are in Fort Morgan on B106 and B106.com. Kovacs lays down the sign. And Westra delivers. Fastball is up and away. Count is level at 1-1. And the Mustangs not with the offense that they had on Wednesday, but good enough so far. And the pitch swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Caleb Bell. Let's see if we can get some numbers on Bell. He's had limited activity at the plate, hitting, 500, 2 for 4. The offering. Breaking ball is down and away. Count at 2-2. Yeah, with all the pitches Westra threw on Wednesday, he's throwing just 7 here to 2+ batters in this top of the 5th inning. Bell digs in. 2-2 pitch. And fisted off the umpire, and no, they're going to call it a foul ball. Bell wasn't sure that he actually made contact with it, but the home plate umpire called it a foul. He took it off, right off that chest protector. But it stays at 2-2. Nice job of Kovacs going out there, allowing the home plate umpire to gather himself or regather himself after that foul ball hit by Bell. Now the baseball out there being checked as well. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes when play resumes. Grocery, meat, and fresh deli counters, Floral, Pharmacy, Western Union, and public service payments and 24-hour gas. Brush Grocery Card at 1302 West Edison Street in Brush, your one-stop shop. That is Brush Grocery Cart. And accidents and illness can strike at any time, day and night, when they do. Every second counts. As a Level 3 trauma center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any type of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center. And the pitch in the dirt with a fastball. 3-2 to Caleb Bell. Here comes a payoff pitch. Westra delivers. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop on deck now charges. Flips to first for the out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sam Westra. We played 4.5 in Englewood, and the Mustangs hold down the Pirates. They can win it in 5. They have a 10-0 lead on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs are looking for their second no-hitter in 3 days on Wednesday in Fort Morgan's 23-0 home victory over Englewood. Kyle Daniels went 3 innings. Jason Wiggins 2. They struck out 12. Combined, 9 for Daniels, 3 for Wiggins. And now Trevor Shurtleff has struck out 6 over 4 innings. And he has not allowed to hit a Sandoval. Steps in from the right side. He struck out his first time up. And the pitch for the right-hander is swung on and fisted right side. First baseman Marquez has it on 2 hops. Flips to the pitcher covering for the out. And there's 1 down. Well, the pitcher went over there. Then he faked the flip. That was strange. I mean, what are you doing there? He actually motioned like he was going to flip, then took it himself. All right, well, either way, the out is recorded by Marquez. Just having some fun there with Shirtliff. And that was only his 52nd pitch. Here's Josh Lort, who grounded to third in the third. Shirtliff delivers, and the breaking ball's a strike on the outer half at the knees. It's 0-1. Fort Morgan, with a victory, would have their 42nd consecutive league win against no losses. The pitch, slow curve, swing and a miss. On a ball diving down in the zone, it's 0-2. The outfield playing shallow on this particular hitter. 0-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. Strikeout number 7 for Trevor Shirtliff. And there's 2 down at the bottom of the 5th inning. And Shirtliff is 1 out away from a 5-inning no-hitter. Yeah, the Mustangs have not given up a hit since the Alameda game 9 days ago, a 5-1 victory when Alameda had 5 hits in the game. The Mustangs won with only 2. Fastball is down and away to the left-handed hitting Jason Klipka. Now, Klipka was up there with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. It was hit by a curveball on the right foot. He calls time, but he goes through with a pitch, and it's a strike on a breaking ball. Time was not granted by the home plate umpire. Klipka not happy about that, and now there's going to be a conversation between Englewood's first base coach and the home plate umpire. Right, that timeout does not have to be granted to the hitter whatsoever. 1 ball, 1 strike. With 2 down, 10-0 Fort Morgan in the bottom of the 5th inning while that conversation continues. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies and G Sweets Bakery. Try new breakfast bowl or delicious breakfast burrito with your Willow Coffee or tea. Open 6 days a week at 921 Edison Street in Brush. The wind and pitch. Fastball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 1 on Klipka. With 2 down and the bases empty in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mustangs up by 10. And the offering swung on and chopped up the first base side. It's going to be fielded by Shirtliff. He throws to first and the game is over. It's a 5-inning no-hitter for Trevor Shirtliff. And the Mustangs have won the game by a score of 10-0. Let's come back in 2 minutes with a recap right here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs beat the Englewood Pirates in Englewood by a score of 10-0. Welcome to the Mustang Post-Game Show. It's brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu and stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, there to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. Morgan Community College. We'll get to the line score here momentarily, as the Mustangs did take advantage of some errors, but certainly brought their hitting shoes today, so to speak. Fort Morgan with 10 runs on 12 hits, no errors. They left 8 on base, no runs, no hits, 5 errors, 2 left on base for Englewood. The winning pitcher going the 5 innings on a no-hitter was Trevor Shirtliff. The loss went to Nate Andrews. Time of the game, 1 hour and 25 minutes as the Mustangs got it done efficiently. After a scoreless first inning, Fort Morgan got to work in the second inning. Anthony Arroyo with an RBI single. Kyle Daniels had an RBI fielder's choice. Trevor Shirtliff drove in a run with a double. Nate Cage with a single. That made it 4-0. And then they matched that tally in inning number 2. Arroyo with an RBI double. In fact, Anthony had RBIs, singles, doubles, and triples, an RBI in each of those at-bats. Kyle Daniels had a second RBI with a base hit, making it 6-0. Shirtliff with a second ribby on a ground ball made it 7-0. And then Trey McBride with an RBI single, his second hit of the game, made it 8-0. Then Arroyo's RBI triple came in the third, and then Arroyo would score on a balk. And that was it for Fort Morgan. 4 in the second, 4 in the third, and 2 in the fourth, as the Mustangs improved to 4-0 in Colorado 7 league play, 5-2 overall. Englewood is now 1-2 in league play, 3-2 on the season. Fort Morgan 42-0 all time in the Colorado 7 league. Mustang Player of the Game is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center with 3 locations to serve you better. Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan, your headquarters for all your home, farm, and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed. Mr. D's Ace Home Center. Well, it's pretty much an easy call. Trevor Shurtleff with 2 RBIs, a no-hitter, struck out 7. He is the Mr. D's Ace Home Center Player of the Game as Fort Morgan defeats Englewood on the road on a gorgeous Friday afternoon. Mustang baseball tomorrow at noon. Brian Nickel will get you started. I'll be joining him right here on B106 and B106.com. It's a doubleheader in Fort Morgan against the winless Fort Lupton Blue Devils. Outstanding as always from our sound engineer. Outstanding job by Julie Garcia. She's our sound engineer and producer. I'm John Beltran. The final score from Englewood. Fort Morgan 10, Englewood nothing, in 5 innings on a no-hitter from Trevor Shurtleff right here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com.